So at the start of the year, I made a tier list on all the premium plants. I said that if it gets 4,000 views, I'll cover the premium plants, and I forgot all about that until now, despite the fact it cracked 4,000 views several months ago, I think. So yeah, I thought I'd right those wrongs now. So these are all the plants that you have to buy to obtain, or you can get them when they're available for a limited time, like I did with Gold Blooming Imitator. Not to brag, but yeah. So I'm going to do the usual thing, flip the beard. Yep, jump on the go. Alright, so here we are. I decided to go for a C-pack of this on just because I thought they looked better than the relatively low quality images of the Almanac screenshots that I used on the Jeebin tier list. Also, this is technically from the Flourish template, but all the plants I'm covering are in the Flourish, so it works out nicely. I should probably add some tier names if I'm going to keep it consistent with the previous one. Why have I forgotten how to use this all of a sudden? So here we are, busted, amazing, solid, decent, midweek. First of all, I'm going to say there are no premium plants that are going in bottom tier, because none of them are bad. I mean, decent on their own, but factor in things like the fact you have to pay real money to obtain them, and some of them being outclassed by other plants. It's sort of like proportionate to how the other premium plants are. And yeah, the bottom tier exists just to make the ones above look a bit better, which is something I've done before. First of all, we have Parsnip. So Parsnip's kind of like a hybrid of Bong Choy and Crocodile. He's got a strong melee attack, I think it's a he. And when he gets eaten, he like rushes down and takes out the whole lot. The thing is, unlike Crocodile, where the rush is the selling point, I think his main attack's stronger, so I guess it's good as a last line of defense, but usually I would probably have a walnut in front of him to stop him from activating his rush. His plant food is pretty damn good though, it's kind of like a lane clearer. Actually no, we'll go solid I think. There are definitely stronger melee plants, including melee premiums, but he does a good job. Apple Mortar. This is a plant I never really understood the hype with the first. I remember the first Pinard project where he's being introduced. I mean, maybe I was biased just because there are big head zombies there, which I don't like at all. He's kind of like a lobbed 3-piece, but much more powerful. If you got a lot from me, you can basically permanently stun lock zombies, but you guys probably know I don't like the if you spam him, he's really good argument. I think, I can't remember how much, I think he's quite priced, he's over 300 son. I'll go, yeah, I think I'll go amazing. He's not something I'd use if I had him. In fact, I don't use him much in the Flourish, but he's pretty busted. I mean, not quite busted tier, but yeah. Also, I should mention that, unlike most of my tier lists, but similar to the Gemium one, they're ranked within their tiers. So if I was doing this, that means I'd say Apple Mortar's better than Parsnip. Snow Pea, who I actually forget you still need to pay for to obtain in PVZ 2. I think before he would have been mid or maybe even weak, but then they buffed him so he's like got a high chance of slowing zombies, and that kind of made him a bit broken. I think I'm going probably not as high as Apple Mortar, but I think amazing. Lily of Power. I know a lot of people use her in every setup like Wolfy, but I think the game just gives you so much plant food anyway that this plant feels a bit redundant. Also, a lot of levels are pretty quick, so you barely get time to use them more than once. It just feels like, I know you can get a lot of Seaslots in PVZ too. Especially with the, I think you can still temporarily rent one for like 2,000 coins or something, using one level. Yeah, we'll go decent. Just not something I'd ever see myself paying for. I mean, if I really wanted to use her in vanilla, I could just play the version on my PC with all premiums unlocked. Grape Shot is obviously busted. Cherry Bomb on steroids. Need I say more? And it's much better than Pomegranate. I mean, obviously it brings into question about how they're adding premium plants, how direct upgrades to plants that already exist, but then again they are premium, so I guess if you want to upgrade, then you can. So next, Holly Barrier. Because yeah, I included the seasonal ones in here. I mean, Apple Mortar made that obvious anyway. Well, I think you can only still get these for a limited time. I'm not sure. I would open PVZ 2 to check, but then I'll probably be bombarded by ads about shagging in the shower, so I ain't doing that because they butchered the ad system in that game. I gotta say, I know Holly Barrier was one of those plants that was ignored for a while, but then was sort of reclaimed by certain figures. I've never understood the hype with it, to be honest. I mean, I guess it's quite cool to get stuff all over the lawn, and it's defensive itself. But if I'm bringing a manual, I'd probably bring Banana Launcher or, as we'll talk about later, Mistletoe. Yeah, I'm gonna pop it there. EP is also busted too. Busted! Will I say better than Grape Shot? I'll come back to that, I think. But yeah, I don't think that one needs explaining. Direct upgrade over Lightning Reed, essentially. Destroys crowds, pretty high damage output. I'd say the plant food's never been that strong in my opinion. I think it's quite cheap as well. Okay, 200 sun. Obviously, I'm thinking the flourish is like 600 something, so his use just dropped down there. Chomper. He would have 100% been bottom tier if it wasn't for the buff that massively decreases digestion time and allowed him to eat 2 zombies before having to digest. And I think more with leveling. That changed enough to make him jump 3 tiers. Might put him at the top of... I don't know. If you think about it, permanent insta-kill is good for situations such as don't lose more than X plants levels. And if you've got the right defense, you can sort them out pretty handily. His plant food is also quite good. It pushes back an entire lane after swallowing 3 zombies. Guess he's got a lack of area of effect though. And what's that good one? That Chomper P hybrid? Snap P, that's it. Who is Cedium, so it's easier to obtain. Is he the best out of the 3-4 guys? No, I think Toadstool attacks faster. Actually, Toadstool's coming up nearly next. I think we're going to go top of decent for Chomper. But now we have Toadstool. Used to be a direct upgrade to Chomper because it can produce sun after eating a zombie. But after the Chomper buff, Toadstool can still only swallow 1 zombie before having to digest, I think. And also our plant food is really rubbish. I think it's supposed to like get 3 zombies like, in a 3x3 area around it, but I just never find it works well, and even then it's not. Chomper's better. I'm gonna say mid for Toadstool. Yeah, I think Chomper 1 ahead Toadstool is fair. Cold Snapdragon, I think top tier. We're getting busted. Probably not as good as these two, but busted. It's a direct upgrade to Snapdragon in most respects. I think Snapdragon is a little bit of further reach, like directly above or below him, but that's a minor thing. And I can't remember, I don't think his plant food does as much damage. Let me see. Yeah, his damage is a bit less, but I think it's still enough to kill most zombies with buckethead health or above. Of course, it's fire versus ice. Ice is generally better, but fire would be better in Frostbite Caves. But then again, that's just one world, and Snapdragon's not my heater of choice in Frostbite Caves anyway. No disadvantage with Cold Snapdragon really, unless you want to use other heaters. Overall, Fuzzy is pretty cracked. You know. But overall, Fuzzy is pretty cracked. Gold Bloom, I don't even have to think about that one. Busted! Busted as hell. With like a 3 burst of sun at the beginning of a level. Wouldn't you realise the fact that he's not very good on his own? Is it he? I can't remember. And you need to have other sun producers there, then yeah, there's not really any disadvantage to using him. I feel like I've always had an advantage ever since I got him from the Epic Quest when he came out. And then they made him pay to win, so yeah, that kind of sucks. But he's a very strong contender for the best plant in the game, I'd say. Possibly the best non-attacker. Mistletoe, I think will go amazing. Direct upgrade over Banana Launcher, plus chill. The only disadvantage is it's not really clear when she gets her snowball back. Like, it's a lot more obvious with Banana Launcher. So you have to look pretty carefully, which I find a little bit annoying. I think they fixed that on some mods though. I'm pretty sure Ulvers and Requiem like make her grey out when she's not got a snowball. So that was a good quality of life change. Alright, Jack-o'-lantern. I know a lot of people don't like him ever since they reworked him to be automatic, but after using him with Flourish, I still think he's really good. He'd maybe go amazing if he's still manual. Otherwise, he might waste his flame on zombies who probably don't warrant using the flame. But yeah, I can't really think of any glaring disadvantages with Jack-o'-lantern. Right, escape routes. Some people don't like escape routes, mostly because they have no idea how to use them. Sorry, Sylvia YSI, like completely forgetting about his swapping attributes. It's a plant that does sort of rely on good RNG if you're using its other purpose. Honestly, I could maybe nix him a few points out of subjectivity, just because I think he's like the precursor for the modern plants that are way too confusing, because he does 2 completely different things. The swapping around plants is good for like last sun levels and getting around sun deficits. And on Saver Seeds as well, and I don't think they patched... No, I think they patched out on the Flourished, so it's still in vanilla. His plant food does rely on RNG a little bit because, like, sometimes it's just a potato mine, other times it can be like Cherry Bomb or even Grape Shot. That's always the thing I like about him. There's the reason why this is my first premium plant. So maybe there's a little bit of bias just because he's one of my favourite premiums, but he's going solid. We'll say he can be a bit buggy at times though. Sometimes it seems like the route doesn't come out in time when you're trying to swap him. Imitator. Besides Goldbloom, the only premium plant I have that I didn't actually pay for because he was temporarily available with gems and they've never done that since. You can transform into any other plant. It's got much more use in this compared to the first game. Even though I do think it looks cooler in the first game. And the greyed out plants also look cooler. Choose what plant to imitate. Unlike the first game where you get like a mini selector screen, it has to be underneath the one you want. So if you've got a level with some plants picked for you, you can only imitate the one at the bottom of the pre-selected list. Overall though, a lot of uses. Gold Bloom, a big one. Actually Grape Shot as well. Power Lily, yeah. Lots of possibilities. Do I have them above Apple Mortar? I think I would. Also, it's like a completely unique function. I mean, Intensive Count is kind of similar because he revives a fallen plant, but yeah, Imitator is pretty damn good. Oh, I'm getting hot in this now. Alright, now I've got these three together because I don't know why they'd have three money plants that basically do the same thing. Right, first of all, Witch Hazel, mid. She's more expensive than Electric Blueberry, despite the fact Electric Blueberry's function is better. Witch Hazel's effect feels a bit redundant. Sometimes it transforms into a Puff Shroom. If there's something there already, then just transform them into nothing. And when you plant food, she turns one zombie into a toadstool. Fitting, given they're right next to each other right now. That's pretty cool, but once again, if there's a plant already there, then it's meaningless. And yeah, the plant food of E-Berry is much better. Witch Hazel also has the attribute of targeting wizard zombies first, which is incredibly niche. Like, unless you're gonna buy this plant and then go into Dark Ages, I don't see why that'd ever be useful. But E-Berry, she's pretty good, but I think she's the definition of a plant that sounds better than it really is. Because, oh, we can one-shot gargantuans, that's amazing. Shame she only has a very small chance to target one. She got the higher chance of targeting a fairly non-threatening zombie, then a bit less to target a dangerous zombie, and then the least to target a gargantua. And if you've got one gargantua at the end of a level, then they'll go down in no time if you've got one of these presents. I think her cooldown is quicker than Witch Hazel's as well. I think we'll go decent there. We'll go decent though. Kind of good, but rather than good RNG. But although what I'd say is much better, Collar Power. I think behind Apple Mortar. She's basically E-Berry, but costs a little more, but can hypnotise zombies. So not only does it kill them, it kills them and makes them fight for you, which is even better. And he's got much more possibility than Hypnoshroom, as he can target zombies that can't eat. His plant food also sort of flings them off the lawn, which I'd say that's a little weaker than E-Berry's, but overall I'd say he's easily the best out of the three. Right, Straw Burst. I really like Straw Burst. He looks cool, he is cool, but he's going to have to go mid. This is not worth paying for what's basically a side grade to Coconut Cannon. I mean, the Big Berry is pretty damn good, and so is his plant food, but it's just too much of a weight, to be honest. This guy has no right being a premium plant. And I'd say in some aspects, Coconut Cannon actually outperforms him. I mean, he's still pretty decent, but overall, I'd say these are probably the bottom three. Especially when next up is Wasabi Whip. I think I previously ranked this as the single best premium plant in the game. Well, I can't say I agree with that anymore. I think I can at least say top of amazing, though. Obviously, the big part of that is that Pokra exists, and I think Hay Butter Lettuce as well. They're Cedium, so you don't have to spend real money to get them, and they're arguably... Well, Poker's definitely better. Head Butter is a bit more contentious. He doesn't have the reach, but he's got the butter as well. And, like Wasabi Whip, he can attack from behind. Wasabi is basically direct upgrade over Bong Choy, who's already pretty damn good. So yeah, I think Amazing's pretty fair. Finally, Cactus. Cactus is good, but I think the Spike Weed function is not that useful most of the time because you generally have them at the back. So you're basically just paying for a Bloomerang with an extra feature. That's not likely to kill any zombies because it is quite weak. Although our plant food is quite interesting because it gives them a perma buff, which is nice, but ideally you'd want to get at least 5 plant foods on a level so you can get one in every lane that has perma buff. I mean, I guess more of a reason to get Power Lily then. Yeah, so yeah, Cactus is functionally good, but it's a bit of a rip-off. And PopCap, why are you charging money for plants from the original game? And the shooters, poor Chomper and Cactus. Alright, so let's go back over. I was unsure about Chomper. I was debating between Grape Shot and E-Berry. I mean, truth be told, E-Berry is probably better because there's nothing quite like E-Berry, while Grape Shot he's got Cherry Bomb, he's got Pomegranate, and I'd say Doom Shroom, Ice Shroom, and what's that other stupidly overpowered one? Oh, Heath Seeker, that's it. Alright, I think I'm happy with this now, so let me know what you thought in the comments. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. Leave a like, because a like goes a long way. Join my Discord server if you're interested. I'm Golden Ninja Vlogspot. Thanks for watching. Bye.